Seal and Crazy on Talk Radio Europe, your voice in Spain. Hello, how are you tonight?
I'm so good, thank you.
A huge apology. I cannot pronounce your name right. I'm so sorry.
Well, most people can't.
Ollie is now joining me in the studio, and of course, if you haven't heard about him before, Ollie, could you just give a bit of background to yourself, just in case anyone hasn't heard you on the station before?
I used to be a journalist, I'm a writer, I'm an artist and inventor, but I spent many years, about 20-odd years, to look into many different conspiracies. Mm-hmm. And what I found is that most of them are connected to the same power elite group that have been doing a lot of so-called bad things for many years. Now, we
touched on the Bilderberg group, didn't we, the last time you were here. Now, you sent me a list, and it had some names on it, but can you confirm, yes or no, that these people who you sent the list about, you definitely know that they are members of this group?
These lists are put together by people who have who have dedicated their lives to find out what is going on. Mm-hmm. And more people are gathering outside these secret meetings. Last year was in St. Moritz, in Switzerland. And so what people do, there's a bit of a...
Yeah, there is a little bit of feedback. Yeah, sorry about that.
I thought it was my brain going in a loop. No, but what people do is, or people like myself, is trying to take photos of these people, identifying them, finding out what's going on. And there's been leaks all over the world over the years, leaks coming out from people working at these different hotels where there have been people inside the group that are not happy about what's going on but are afraid of telling the truth straight out. So it's leaking out more and more, and now...
Sure.
So it's coming out more and more what's going on.
Okay, we'll be back with Ollie in just a couple of minutes. As you can tell, he's live here in the studio, so he's willing to take your calls tonight on any conspiracy theories that you've maybe come across that you'd like to ask him about. The all-important number, 951 036 026. That's 951 036 026, or alternatively, email studio@talkradioeurope.com.
Talk Radio Europe is all about on 91.9. This is Talk Radio Europe, your voice in Spain. Tonight with Lisa Grant.
Okay, the lines are now open. If you would like to ask Ollie any questions about any conspiracy cases that you have come across, 951 036 026. He's here for, well, until 10 o'clock tonight, so you've got plenty of time to call in, but please do pick up the phone. Now, we started talking and touched on the Bilderberg group. Now, we've done it just now, and we also did it last time we were talking. You have said to me that they have fingers in an awful lot of pies. Now, how much does the man in the street have to worry about this?
I would say about 100%.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, can you elaborate on that a bit?
It's the Bilderberg group is just one group in this net, but it's one of the top groups in the power pyramid top. Not in the actual top, because very few people really know what's going on in the top and above it. But they're the more visible groups that are trying to keep in the dark as well. But the most visible groups are the Bilderberg Group, the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission. These three groups, the two last ones are very official, and the Bilderberg Group has sort of... It was a so-called think tank. It was created in 1954, I think it was, in Hotel Bilderberg in Holland. And then it has just gone, over the years, it has sort of collected, hand-picked people from all kinds of power positions in different countries to concentrate the power to fewer and fewer people, to control more and more. And... it's this globalization, this centralization of power, that is where they're right in the center of that.
Would you say that now people are so aware of the Bilderberg group that they may transform into something else, or do you think they'll just dig their heels in and keep going the way they're going?
They keep on going the way they're going, but they're having more and more problems, because they used to They used to use what is called a stepping stone method. You know, they move a little here, a little over there, a little in the middle, and a little over there. So people didn't really notice that these things were connected. But now it's become more and more obvious what is going on, because more and more people are becoming aware of it. So now they're moving faster and faster, trying to force these changes through. And it's just becoming so obvious to a lot of people that what the hell is going on. So
what kind of changes do they actually try and force?
They try to force this world into a global fascist state with a one world army against the people, controlling the people, with a one world currency, digital, not normal money. Like I explained last time, if you don't have normal money to pay with, if your credit card starts messing up, then you're totally in control of the one who can activate or deactivate your credit card if there's no normal money around. So they're trying to get us to use credit cards more and more, digital money all the time, and get rid of the normal coins and bills.
But surely coins and bills are needed for economic growth and stability, for the world to be able to function normally.
No.
No?
No. They're trying to get rid of that, also to get rid of all kind of tax evasions, all kind of black work, black money, all these things. Once it's digital, they are in control.
They're in control. We've got a call. Hold on a moment. Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Lisa, John from the Costa Blanca.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. In your guest's estimation,
Yeah.
who would he rate as the most powerful man in the world today, and why?
Ollie, would you like to answer that? Thank you for your question, John.
Can
Okay.
I repeat the question? The world's
Most powerful man, in your opinion, and why?
Wow. I would say the Rothschild family.
Yeah.
Not a person maybe, but
The whole family.
yeah, because they are the power behind this. Then underneath them come the Rockefellers, and further down the line comes
How does one named family go about getting this kind of power in the world?
They own about, I think I've seen estimated numbers like half of everything in the whole world. 50% is owned by the Rothschild family. That is not a fact that I'm 100% sure, but this is what I've been reading about. They are extremely powerful, and what they do is, most people haven't heard of them. It's sort of like through company and different names and different setups, and so you never really see who are the players behind.
When you refer to them as players, do you think that they're actually playing a game with an end result to win something, or do you think when they look on the world they see it as a place to actually gain points and to actually change things for the better? So whether are they doing it to win, or doing it to really change things for the better?
Well, better for us? Absolutely not. It's the other way around. It's like when you see what's coming out from the agenda, it's horrifying what they're planning. One of the things that has leaked out, and what has been planned for many years, when you follow, is to depopulate the globe with about 2/3.
How on earth would they go about doing something like that?
One of the ways are through these wonderful chemtrails. One of the ways are with these vaccines that they're trying to, with mass sterilization, with all these different diseases through food and water. And there's a war going on, an invisible war going on against our immune system. You know, we're being attacked through so many different things.
And what end game could there possibly be in mind for doing a manoeuvre like that?
I mean, the more people, the harder it is to control. The fewer, the easier to control. And I cannot say that I understand the mentality of this group at all. For me, it's sort of like, I don't get it. If you have that much already, why more? If you have that much power, why more? What? But it's like with bulimia, You know, like, why do you eat when you're almost exploding? But I don't understand it.
Yeah. Okay, we've got another call. Hello, caller, you're on the air.
You know, it's me, John, and this is what I've been saying to everybody. They think I'm crazy, but I'm watching it, and my son is, and there's more and more of this coming out. Thank you. I won't interrupt your show any longer, but I'm with you. It's frightening.
Thank you very much for your call, John. Thank you. It's interesting that you mentioned chemtrails just then, and we were talking when you first arrived. Was it Wednesday and Thursday this
Wednesday
week?
and Thursday were two quite
because you
intense
came
days.
in and you said to me, Lisa, did you see? And I was thinking, and I actually, yes, I did. And I've actually noticed since I've been studying the whole chemtrail thing, I'm looking to the skies a lot more. And Wednesday and Thursday of this week, it was like a patchwork quilt up there. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Why on earth would there be so much activity all of a sudden?
But it's not all of a sudden. It's all of a sudden that you started noticing.
Well, it's, perhaps that's right.
This has been going on for years and years and years, and I've been in this area. I've felt like crying, you know, because I see people sit outdoors having lunch with their kids, and right above them just one of these massive things, and you don't know what's coming down, and it's just not nice.
Now, chemtrails we've touched on before, but it's a very huge subject, quite honestly.
Maybe I should just explain what chemtrails are.
Yes, please do.
Okay, because there's a very there's normal planes with contrails, condensation trails, that you see when they're above 8,000 meters, sometimes depending on the humidity and the temperature on that level. You can get the water vapor crystallizes, so you can see there's sort of like a tail following the plane.
Sure.
But this tail are often like not that long, and it disappears at the same speed as the plane moves on. Chemtrails are something totally totally different. It's white trails that come. You see the plane cross the sky, and there's one massive, long white, mostly white, trail that is just hanging on, and then slowly...
That's what I saw Wednesday and Thursday. I saw that all over the place.
And they do it like not like a quilt. Sometimes they do zigzags as well.
Yeah.
And that's where you can see also, my God, there's a drunken driver up there, because they go like...
wobbling all over the place, yeah. No, it definitely looked like a patchwork quilt on Wednesday and Thursday. Hold that thought, because we've got another call. Hello, caller, you're on the air.
Hi, it's Bertha here.
Hi.
You interviewed Rosalind Peterson,
yes,
who has been researching this subject on chemtrails for over 10 years.
Yes.
And the interview was excellent.
Thank you.
She's a terrific woman who's done very thorough and sound research on this. What I have found, and I would like to ask Ollie this, is that about 18 months ago, I started joining Facebook groups who were acting tandem with each other around the world to raise awareness of this geoengineering of our upper atmosphere. And what I have discovered is that there's almost no country in Europe, Australia, New Zealand, America and Canada that is not represented by groups who are photographing and filming and raising concerns about the geoengineering that's going on. One of the conspiracies is that whilst governments are promoting global warming, this action in our upper atmosphere has been going on for 10 years, and more recently about 4 to 5 years over Europe. So anything that is discussed about global warming and weather change or climate change is ignoring the fact that our upper atmosphere is being covertly messed with, seriously messed with. So everything that these pundits push out about global warming and climate change is a nonsense, because we have a manipulated upper atmosphere which is being deliberately interfered with.
All right, Bertha, thank you very much for your call. I appreciate it. Ollie, have you got anything you'd like to say to what Bertha said?
Oh, I just totally agree with her. I didn't hear her question, though, but I...
No, she was just talking about the background that she's looked into.
No, I totally agree with her. And I totally agree as well with the global warming big scam. There's no such thing. With all of these tsunamis and all of these catastrophes, a lot of them, I can't say all of them, but a lot of them, as far as I've been able to find out, is man-made creations through HARP and the chemtrail things, where they use these weapons to create tidal waves like tsunamis, and also in Japan.
Now, in our last interview, we did touch on chemtrails, and we've touched on it now. But let's move on to HARP, because HARP's been mentioned a couple of times, but we haven't gone into it in any detail. What's HARP? It's spelt H-A-A-R-P. Yeah. Now, I've heard about this when I was looking into chemtrails, and it came up with HARP. What's that all about?
It's a massive thing that is very hard for someone, an amateur like myself, to find out what it's actually about. But there are like 6 or 7 at least HARP, what do you call them, like power plants in Alaska and other places like Canada, and also they're coming up in more and more places as far as I know. And what they do is they are like hundreds of antennas, and they with this they can how shall I say? They used to find like oil wells and stuff like that with like microwave waves aimed at the ground,
right.
And they were able to use like 30 watts and 50 watts and stuff like that to find amazing stuff. But here we're talking about 1 million watts. It's sort of
a million.
A million. It's massive power. Massive power.
What kind of damage could that do to us? That kind of wattage.
Exactly. And what they're doing is they aim this out in the ionosphere and then hit it back down to the world in different areas, and they do it on ley lines and cracks in the Earth's surface and stuff like that. And these vibrations just gets movement or tidal waves or these things.
That is just a scary thought. I mean,
it's weapons. They use it as weather weapons or theatrical weapons, it's called. And chemtrails are also one of these. It's a different weapon, and it's sort of like nowadays, like with Japan, they were warned before, and Bush and other people went over there and said, "You give over the power of your country, or we will bomb the shit out of you." But not with bombs, but with weather.
And you think that's how the tsunami was triggered?
That is what there are a lot of different witnesses talking about this.
Okay. Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Kerosene doesn't turn skyscrapers to dust.
Sorry, say that again.
Kerosene
Kerosene
cannot turn skyscrapers to dust.
Okay, and you're saying that why?
Twin Towers.
Right.
Look at the photographic evidence. Architects and engineers for 911truth.org.
Okay. Ollie, what would you like to say to that?
I didn't really understand what you said, but the justification about 9/11 is totally correct as far as I know. It's something was used to take down these two towers. It was actually a lot more than 2 towers. That has never ever, as far as I know, been used. There was some kind of energy weapon in combination with nanothermite and controlled demolition that just dustified these buildings. If you look at it, just like the caller said, if you look at it in slow motion, for one thing, you have these massive buildings that were about 1 million tons together, these two just disappeared into two dust clouds. If they were falling down naturally, there would be like about 12 or 15 levels of scrap on the ground. There was nothing, more or less. There was like a few meters. And if you see in slow motion, for one thing, when you see in slow motion down, you will see all these explosions going around, round and round, on the floors further down in the buildings before they go down. But in slow motion, you can also see how these big steel structures and stuff, they start falling, and then they just turn into dust. There was nothing left of that building. There was no bodies hardly. There was no computers. There were no furniture. There was paper, dust, and aluminum. These three things were the ones that survived.
And you're saying the cause of that was?
I don't know. I just know that he was talking about dustification. That is a new term that is being used. Dustification. How it was done, I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to find out. There's a very, very clever woman called Judy Woods, an engineer who spent 10 years. I think her new book is called Where Did the Towers Go? And she is very much talking about these energy weapons and how these buildings were dustified, as she names it.
It's interesting that somebody would come up with a theory about this. On what basis does Judy base her theories on?
10, 12 years. No, how many years is it? 10 years of intense studies.
So she's actually looked into it, and she's looked
in very, very great detail. As a scientist.
As a scientist. Okay, we've got a call. Hello, caller, you're on the air.
Hi, sorry, Lisa, it's Beverly here again.
Hi.
I know a little about HAARP because I'm a great fan of Nikola Tesla. Now, Judy Woods is a structural engineer. It goes a lot deeper than that. I've also followed...
Bertha, can I just say, maybe we should swap seats? I call you and you sit here in the studio. You've done a lot of research, I can hear that.
I have done a great deal of research, mainly because I object strongly that my family is being compromised by covert actions that are impacting on our environment, our world, our food chain, our water. I'm very angry. I'm passionate about getting to the root of it. I have written to every environmental minister in the EU and in Britain, and they have treated me with utter contempt. There is a House of Commons white paper, which anyone can find on the net, which discloses the fact that our government in Britain is discussing ways of controlling geoengineering of our environment. So whilst they deny and ignore anyone goes to the root and asks very pertinent questions, they will ignore people like me, and yet they have put out a white paper last year making it categorically clear that geoengineering is an issue that most MPs have got to be looking at. And so you've got this, it's inconceivable to me that something so huge, and Lisa said it herself, she is watching this grid effect in our sky. I have been watching it very, very intensely for 2 years. I've lived in these mountains for 26 years. I think that people have got to wake up because our lives are being compromised on a sales ticket. Just one example, Al Gore is a great global warming pundit. I call him a salesman for the elite, if you like, who are involved in mass massive amounts of money going into geoengineering whilst they deny it's taking place. They are promoting the global warming myth as a cult. So people are concentrating, we're all responsible for this global warming. That's the first thing. We are all responsible. But the fact is, our weather systems are being manipulated, and if you study it and look at it and follow the chain and also follow the money, you cannot come to any other conclusion. And the fact that if you attempt to talk to an environmental minister who has a direct responsibility to answer questions and have yourself ignored time and time again, it's very suspicious. It's very suspicious.
Thank you
I think we've all got to accept something dodgy is on.
Thank you very much for your call, Bertha. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay, let's look at the economic climate in the world at the moment. Now, I have an economist who comes on my show regularly, and he's of the opinion that the powers that be, shall we say, do have the option to be able to say, you know, let's have countries going back to their original currency. All right? And as far as he's concerned, what that would actually do is allow for 2 years of hardship. This is the way he would like to do it. 2 years of hardship. But during that time, we'd have a lot of people, say, for Spain, coming in because the interest rates would be very low and the exchange rates would be very good. And that would lead to 20 or 30 years of posterity after 2 years of hardship. That would be his idea of a good way to tackle the economic problem. But then at the end of it, he says, however, the powers that be don't want that. They are orchestrating it for us to be in a depression for the next 20 or 30 years. What do you think? What do you say to that?
I think they're orchestrating it to go down the drain a lot faster than that. If their will goes through, the way I see it, we're talking within a year or two.
Why do you think that? I mean, he's never mentioned they. He doesn't say anyone in particular.
But I can hear when you're talking about him, and I've listened to him as well, that he's aware of these forces as well. I would say anyone that goes into it with his eyes open and a curiosity, seeing what is going on and start putting the jigsaw puzzles together. If they spend enough time to really make an effort, you will come to the same conclusion.
But what is the point of putting the world into economic decline? Surely people function better and have a more positive outlook on life when everything is going well and there is posterity and there is progress. There is the chance for people to be inventive and...
but now you're talking about people.
Well, yeah, but...
Yeah, this group do not care about people. They call us useless eaters. That is a quote.
Okay, so what is the point of putting us into economic decline in this way? What is the point?
What is the point of robbing a bank?
Okay, so what you're saying is they basically just want to do it just because they feel like it?
No, they rob us.
Right, okay.
Left, and square. They rob us from all directions.
For what ends?
For what ends?
Yeah, for what reason?
Why do you rob a bank? Why this greed? I say again, I don't understand this mentality. If you got that much, why do you need so much more? What is this appetite that you can never feel full? What is it that feeds this? I don't understand it at all.
It's interesting because the Romans regarded the gods as people that just were playing a game of marbles, for want of a better expression, and you know, at the roll of a dice or the roll of a marble, that changed the course of people's lives to suit them and their gains. And the mysterious they, shall we say, if everything we're saying is correct and true and it is going on, it seems that they're acting like the gods up on Olympus. My question would be, if we know so much about this, how are they still managing to function? How are they still managing to do what they do?
For one thing, because they have, for so many years, invisible, put themselves into so many places of power that they don't care about what we are doing or what we are they do whatever they want, just like the chemtrail planes. Why are they not shot down? Why is there not? I mean, if that was not if these planes had not been approved from the highest level,
they would
have been shot down right away.
Yeah, I can't argue with that.
Who is allowing them? Who is allowing them? Big question. So this is one of the reasons as well. The only one that can, on that level, can allow a thing like that to go on, have to be
higher up,
and higher up, and then these. When you start looking into this, you get to the same little group again and again and again.
It makes me wonder how these people are able to sleep at night, quite honestly.
It's like, I think many of these people live in shark water, you know, because they know, I think so, if they know themselves and they look around, they know that these people don't give a rat's bottom.
Patootie, yes.
Yeah. And also, the reasons why, like JFK and Olof Palme and other people were killed so out in the open instead of just dropping a pill in their coffee or something like that, was to show that we can get anyone anywhere at any time. Okay. So I would not sleep very good either if I were them.
No. Okay, we've got a couple of calls. Hello, caller, you're on the air.
Hello, my name's Sharon. Hi, Ollie. Welcome back again.
Hi, thank you.
I'm trying to talk to people as well. I'm talking to a lot of people. I'm not getting the negative response that I expected. I do get stuck, however, when people turn around to me and say, why would anyone want to do this? Which, of course, is a question you can't answer and I can't answer. You mentioned, or was it you or somebody else mentioned, that this Illuminati or these elites involve some people from some of the royal families, and I wondered if you could expand on that, please. Is the British royal family involved, for example?
Yes, very deeply.
Thank you. I'll hang up and listen, Ollie.
Thank you. Thank you for your question, Sharon. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
No,
Bye.
The British royal family is very, very deeply involved. The Queen and Prince Philip, her husband, these two are major players. And also, if you follow the so-called English royal family, they're not English at all, they're German. And they go back into this... you got the Spanish Queen as well, you got the Beatrix of Belgium. There's quite a few royal people in
connections.
This. Yeah.
It's very worrying, it certainly is. Okay, we're just going to take...
It's depressing.
It's depressing, okay. We're just going to take a quick commercial break. Oh, no, we'll take this call first. Hold on. Hello, caller, you're on the air.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Jack, how you doing?
Okay. Hi, Oli.
Hi, Jack.
How you doing?
Good, thank you.
Okay. Listen, okay, you know, there's a big shake-up going around with the euro and the European community and so on. And what puzzles me, equally, is so many billions of whatever the currency is, whether it's euros, dollars, pounds, or whatever, are being printed, paper.
Mm.
Is there any back for it? Is there any money in or gold or something to support all that printing?
I'm not the right person to ask, but as far as I know, absolutely not.
Well,
it even says on the notes that this is valid only the paper it's printed on. It used to say this is worth a value, but it doesn't anymore.
That's it. Well, now, can that be connected to the banking groups that you've been talking about tonight?
100%.
All right. All right. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Ollie, would you like to elaborate on that a bit?
There is an incredible thing about money and the banks, how they create money out of thin air. This is something that I've had very hard to understand. But it's a bank has a certain amount of money, real money, value in the bank. The laws, let's say, it's different in different countries, but just as an example, say that the bank can lend out 10 times the value that they have in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That means that when you come to the bank and you say, I would like to borrow a house, they say, no problem. On the keyboard, they key in an amount out of thin air and says, boom, enter into your account. That money, they're allowed to do that, but what they're actually doing is that they're creating a number out of thin air and putting into rotation, and
Sure.
from that moment, you will start paying real money interest on that amount taken out of thin air. It's very, once you start seeing how it works, there's so much of this so-called debt. How come that so many countries, if not all, have a massive debt, national debt?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you think that somebody with a lot of money could lend out money to the other ones, then they would have a lot of money? No, even the states have trillions and billions. How can you have trillions of dollars? How can you have billions of dollars if you only have a certain amount of people that are supposed to... It's just... Like
Then that basically the numbers don't add up, is what you're saying.
Not at all. If everybody... And that is what... One of the things that people are now encouraging is, say, set a specific date. I think it was on the 7th of December, and it was sometime in September as well, I think, where they said, go to the bank and take out your money. And if everybody went to the bank and said, I would like my money, the whole bank system would just fall into pieces. And they are the ones who have us, if I can put it gently, grabbed by the balls for and strangling us with debt, you know, keeping us in financial slavery.
On that thought, we're just going to go to a quick break and we'll be right back.
Talk Radio Europe is all about talking. How long have I got with
RadioEurope.com.
And we're going to go straight to the phones. Hello, caller, you're on the air.
Oh, hello, good evening.
Hi.
Hello. I just wondered if you could just tell us everything he knows about these credit rating agencies. I feel they've got nearly more power than the leaders in Europe. I'd just like to know who's behind them, where do they get their money from, why are they there in the first place, everything about them.
Okay, so you want to know about the credit rating agencies and how they came about and what they're really for. Okay, thank you very much.
Who's really behind them, what's really going on there.
All right. Thank you very much for your call. Uli? Oops, sorry. Oops, bring that up.
I'm the wrong person to say that. I can speculate, but I prefer not to.
Okay.
It's better you talk to your expert.
Talk to Jonathan.
Yeah.
Okay. Perhaps I'll ask him the question tomorrow. Sorry, caller, we can't help you with that. Now, we were just talking off air, and I was saying if all of this that we've actually discussed tonight is based in truth, and it does turn out that it is true, it has the ability to make you feel very insignificant as a human being if all of this is completely out of your control. But you quite eloquently said to me, well, that's the whole point of them doing it.
The thing is, if it's true, and if we are as insignificant, that's the word,
yeah,
as they want us to believe, you might as well go shoot yourself or find a nice rope or something like that. But one of the problems for them is that they're aware of how powerful the individual human being is, a lot more than we're being told. And that is one of the reasons why they try to pump us with all this fear and worry and keep us down with low energies, so that we won't reach the level where we're supposed to be and be in contact with the infinite power, or whatever you want to call it, where suddenly the human being is extremely powerful.
Would you say that there would ever be a time where we would feel strong enough to actually do anything about all this?
We're doing it.
I certainly hope so. Hold on one second. Hello, caller, you're on the air.
Hello, Lisa. Yeah, it's Sharon again.
Hi.
Just to say, I think as one previous interviewee said, Ollie and Lisa, there are 9 billion of us on the planet. There are only a couple of hundred. And I think education is absolutely essential. We start talking to people and letting people know what's going on. Even if people poke fun at you in the first instance, if you keep having choose appropriate moments and keep talking to people, it's a pity they can't do this in school, isn't it? But educating people, the word would soon spread, and we could get them back by numbers. We could survive by numbers. I just hope that happens one day.
Can you imagine there actually being lessons on chemtrails?
God, yeah.
Can you imagine? Today we're going to
Really?
today in science
I'll
we're
tell
going to
you
be talking about bioengineering, and we're going to be looking at chemtrails.
I tell you what, Lisa, if I could have my time again as a teacher, I would do things in a totally different way, and I'd probably get the sack for it.
Or a medal.
Thanks a lot.
Or a medal, yeah. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Do you know, I have to agree with Sharon, quite honestly, because to quote the song that's been done 100 times, the children are our future. And through education they do learn and they do grow up to be different adults in the way that they think and progress. However, the whole education system hasn't really changed that much since the 1800s, has it? It's still the 3 R's.
Yeah, and who do you think is behind that? How come that the education system is just getting worse and worse and worse, when you actually, a normal learning curve would be that it would be better and better and better and better? We're back to the same group again, and you will find that many of the members are hand-picked in the educational system as well. It is keep people ignorant, keep people stupid, keep people learning a lot of useless stuff. If you look back, what use have you had from your education?
What, me personally?
Yeah, I've had like 0, maybe plus minus, and I can read and write. That's about it.
Yeah, I know how to use a computer, and
my 6-year-old
I can just about string a sentence together quite well, but that's about it, really.
There's when you look into the agenda, what comes out as well is that they're very, very aware of trying to keep us down. It's the same what we are being pumped with through media and TV programs. How many really good documentaries do you see? How many, if you compare to mindless TV series or whatever idle crap, singing contest, Yahoo thing, that is great in one way, but it's totally to put people into a brain dead state, not looking into what's going on around them.
If we were to actually change the way children are educated, do you think that they would have the opportunities to grow into alternative thinking adults, or do you think that these mysterious powers that be would actually put a stop to it?
They have tried to do that for a long time, but for sure, very, very quickly. I mean, kids are so open. They are natural, you know. They have not been messed up yet, so for sure. Can I just say one thing?
Please.
David Icke is a man who spent many, many years looking into these things, also being ridiculed very much, and also going into areas where I have no idea if what he's talking about is true with the reptilians and these type of things.
Sure.
These things, I have no idea. But what I do know is that I met him the first time 89, and what he showed me then was just absolutely amazing information that he had gathered through people all over the world. And at that point in 89, we were 82 people. That was the first time he came to Sweden. 82 people. And I've just heard that next year, March next year, if that's correct, I'm not 100% sure, but I was told that he's just doing Wembley Stadium.
So when David Icke actually talks, his popularity has grown over the last 10...
From 82 to Wembley.
To Wembley, yeah.
It is a bit of a difference.
Someone's got to pay attention to that, haven't they?
Yeah. Otherwise, Wembley wouldn't be full.
No, what I mean... No, you misunderstand me. What I mean is these powers that be surely must start having to pay attention, because when he was...
He's been such a boil in the butt for them for like years and years and years. But the thing is that the way you can protect yourself, you cannot always be sure. But one of the ways to protect yourself, if you start digging into this thing, which is a problem for everyone who gets too close, I myself have had friends who died, is either you get yourself in the spotlight and keep yourself there, because then if something happens to you, it would just confirm what you're saying, or you keep a really low profile, really low, because if you're in the middle and you're sort of like a Mr. Nobody, like Mr. Myself here, it's very easy that things can happen.
Uli, we've literally got to go to the news. Thank you very much for your company tonight. I will definitely have you in again, and I'll see everyone tomorrow night.
Radio Europe, your voice in Spain. Brought to you by Yuska Bank Gibraltar. The international news on the hour.